Reverend Carol, we're ready whenever you are. I didn't actually move the chairs. So
yeah, that's good. Here, we're good. Okay, I'll go up right now in just a second.
Good morning, everyone. It is so good to see you all this morning on this beautiful day. Thank you, Sandra, for that beautiful music. I am Reverend Carol Bodeau. I am privileged to serve here as minister. My pronouns are she, her, and hers. And we have some special things going on this morning. We're going to have a wonderful guest speaker for Mobile Meals today. This is a place, Westside is a place where our highest priority is learning how to be the love that we wish to see in the world and to actually live that into our community. We are a community that welcomes all, including virtual participants. If you are here with us virtually, I want to welcome you this morning. Come with an open mind, open heart, and the willingness to learn and grow together in community. There's a few things going on I want to call your attention to in the announcements. And so, a couple of upcoming events that I just want to let you know about. In 2 weeks from now, it will be our annual holiday party and play. We're going to need some actors for that. So catch me after the service or look online. We'll have some information about that. If you're willing to participate in the holiday play in 2 weeks, that would be awesome. We'll be doing a fun retelling of Clement Moore's Night Before Christmas poem. And that same day is, of course, our holiday party, so we'll be having some special activities for that as well.
And next week is our annual bread communion. So Chris Edkins will be leading that service, and there'll be information about that online as well. There's a lot going on. The holiday season has started. I also want to announce that Elizabeth Corbett's memorial service will be here in 3 weeks on the 14th of December. That's Sunday afternoon at 2 o'clock after the service. So just keep that in mind. Maybe keep that on your calendars. Elizabeth was our programs and membership coordinator for a few years. The other thing, a new thing that I want to let you know about that you might be interested in. There's going to be some information in our media about this, but there's a new forum happening at Tennessee Valley. I believe it's on the second Sunday of every month after the service. That's a discussion forum about weird things that are happening on the internet. How do media and things that are happening in the media world out there, how do they impact us? How do we respond to them? So lots going on, and I invite you to, if you want to know more about any of those things or any other things that are going on, check out the e-news, sign up for that if you haven't already got that, look at our website, and just look at our social media for more information. So today we are thinking about how we can actually support very directly and very immediately people in our community who need support. particularly food resources, but also just how can we actually show up and be a presence of love in our community. So in a moment, I'm going to invite the bowl to sound, calling us into our time together in worship. And I'd like to invite you to just take a moment to practice gratitude for the fact that you are here, that you have a community to be present with, that you have the gift of breath today, and allow all the worries about yesterday and all the worries about tomorrow to just fade for a moment into simple gratitude that we get to be here together this morning. And I'm going to invite Sherry Smith to come up and light our chalice. These words this morning are from Sophia Lyon-Faz, who was really the first really powerful religious educator in our tradition. These words are, we gather in reverence. We gather in reverence before the wonder of life, the wonder of this moment, the wonder of being together and yet sometimes feeling so apart. Sometimes each hidden in our own secret chamber, listening, trying to speak, maybe not fully understanding or fully understood, but we gather in reverence before intangible things, things that eyes might not see or ears cannot hear, but we gather in reverence for hands that we might touch and those we might not, for spaces we might enter and those we might not, for the time that we have, we gather. And Sherry will light our candles of care and concern and celebration for our community. Today, we light a candle of celebration for the life of Lois Calhoun, who was a founder of this community and whose life we celebrated yesterday. You know, we could light candles of sorrow, and there is loss at her passing and grief. But I think that it is well advised of us to light a candle of celebration for all those people who are no longer here in person, but who have so fully shaped this community. So we celebrate the lives that went before ours that make this possible. And the candle of concern for all those in our community. You know, we talk about the big political things that are happening. We talk about the stress of our current global and local climate. But just today, we remember how that impacts us each individually. So this candle is for each person who, in whatever way, is struggling with the world, whether that is financial hardship because of changes in our economy or our culture, physical illness that it is difficult to treat because of changes in our system, struggling to find food perhaps, or simply being stressed and distressed by the nature of things in the world. So really this is a candle of concern for all who in any way at all are struggling or suffering right now. Thank you, Sherry. Actually, I'm going to ask you to stay up here and help me. I'm going to give you a job. Will you help me with this job too, Carrie? So we're going to do a little meditation this morning. And this is not too dissimilar from what Chris will be doing next week in the bread communion. In the bread communion, we share bread and we eat it mindfully. And we often don't eat very mindfully. We really don't. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you each a pile of these baskets. So take that pile. Yep, that's this big. And you take a pile. Okay, so let me explain what's going to happen here. These baskets are going to pass down your rows. There's a basket, should be roughly one for each row, okay? And if not, you guys will manage the logistics of making sure. For those of you who are with us virtually at home, I want to encourage you to go to your kitchen. Get one small piece of fruit, but don't eat it. Or a cracker, or whatever it is, one small item of food. So you guys go ahead and begin to pass those down the rows. In these containers, there are small boxes of raisins and some little candies. Now, you can do this with your imagination if you're like, I'm absolutely not going to eat a raisin or a piece of candy. That is totally fine. But take one thing out of the basket. Do not eat it. Take one thing out of the basket. And again, if you're at home with us virtually, take this time to go get something. A grape, a raisin, a cracker, one nut, whatever it is. We are so often so careless in the way we eat. How many of us, I want you to honestly raise your hands, how many of us have eaten a meal over a sink or in the car in the last week? Yep. How many of us have actually read the label of every single ingredient that's in something that we know had a long ingredient list? Some of us read those labels, some of us it's not so much, right? Okay, so you guys let me know when you think everybody's got something. Anybody still need something? Okay, now like I said, if you don't want to eat one of these things, it's fine. You can do this in your imagination. But here's what I want you to do. Open the package. That's all. Slowly open the package. And could you just take a minute and notice that it has a package? Now, where did the package come from? Have you ever stopped to think about when you open that little package? How did that package get made? Who made that package? What is that package made of? If you've got the raisin box, who made the ink? How did the ink on that box come into existence? And if you've got the candy, where in the world did that shiny aluminum-y stuff come from that's inside there? Okay, now, take the item that is inside the package, one raisin, not a handful, one raisin and one piece of candy. Or in your mind, use your imagination. Hold it. Don't eat it yet. Hold it. And if you've already eaten it, hold it in your mouth and think, I've already put it in my mouth. Okay. Now, holding that object in your hand, the first thing I want to invite you to do, we're going to be mindful. What does it mean to eat mindfully? First, what associations do you have with this item? What does it remind you of? What do you think of when you consider it? Usually we sit down and we are not thinking about the food we are eating. We are thinking about yesterday or tomorrow or the to-do list, and we're just shoving the food in our mouth. We're not actually thinking about it. We're not present with it. So what does it remind you of? You should all have one free hand. How many of you know that in the last week you have eaten something for purely emotional reasons? So maybe think for a second about what are the emotional associations you have with these foods. You know, if I'm holding a piece of candy, I can hear somebody in my head saying, you shouldn't be eating candy, it's bad for your teeth, right? Or maybe I'm hearing it's Christmas and I get to eat candy, or maybe something. What is coming to your mind? Okay, we're going to take a little journey with the food. We're not eating it yet. You're not eating it yet. We're going to take a little journey with this food. Okay, what are the ingredients in your food? Now, some of you have a really easy job right now. You're like, it's a grape. It's easy. Some of you who have that piece of candy have a much more complicated journey to follow. Okay? I'm going to tell you what the ingredients are in the candy, for those of you who are curious. The candy has sugar, glucose syrup, coconut oil, cream, milk, glycerin, salt, natural and artificial flavors, fruit juice, beta-carotene for color, and red dye number 4. Maybe it's 40, I don't know. Some big number for the red dye. Okay. Like I said, the people with the raisin, you made your job easier right now. Okay. But every one of us who's got a raisin has eaten something with a list of ingredients like that in the last week. So let's ask this question. Where is the beginning of this piece of food? Where did it start? Where did it start? The earth? Maybe it's a plant. Maybe it was a seed. Maybe it was a coconut seed. Maybe it was some kind of a, I don't know, with a natural and artificial flavorings. I don't know. I don't know what the fruit juice is. It's a fruit. There's some kind of fruit in that candy, okay? Maybe there's some animals involved somehow. Maybe a bird, yes, pooped out the seed for that grape. Does that make anybody a little go, ew, wait, I don't want to think about that? What about the soil? What about minerals? What kinds of minerals? Where did the minerals come from that are in that? Maybe there's some magnesium or some potassium or something in there that came out of the soil. Now let's ask the question about that red dye. Where did that come from? How did that get made? So just think about all of the actual material ingredients. If you've got a raisin, there was some soil, there was some sunlight, there was some rain, right? Okay, still no eating, still no eating. Let's move on to the people involved in getting this thing to you. Who harvested the things from nature that it took to get this thing to you? How did it get to the place where it was put in the package? How did the package get to the store? Who stood on the assembly line to assess the quality of the thing before it went into the package? Who made the packages? Who loaded the trucks? Who drove the trucks to the warehouses? Who drove the cool little machines they have in the store that hold the pallets, the little machines that they drive around the pallets to move stuff around in the grocery store? Who put it on the shelf? Who let me pay for it? How many living creatures or elements did it take to get that one tiny little thing into your hand? All right, now you can put it in your mouth, but do not chew it up and swallow it quickly. Put it in your mouth. Now this is where the people with the piece of candy have it easier, because we're used to holding that piece of candy in our mouth and letting it sit there for a minute. If you have the raisin, you got to pretend it's like the piece of candy. Just hold it in your mouth for a minute. What are the flavors that you're tasting? What are the textures you're aware of? What emotions come up for you as you hold that thing in your mouth? Just be aware of it. And if you're willing, close your eyes for a minute. Or gaze down at something near you. Let your eyes rest towards the floor. And just ask yourself, what does it feel like to eat? What does it feel like to take something outside my body that came from somewhere else on the earth and put it into my body? And maybe swallow. If you've got the raisin, you can go ahead and swallow the raisin or the juice of that sweet piece of candy. What does it feel like to take nourishment, calories, energy, minerals, vitamins? How does that feel going down your throat, into your stomach? What is it like to feel food coming into you? And what difference does it make paying attention while you do it? Just take a minute and notice. Do you notice it in your body? Does your body have a response? So often we don't pay any attention when food goes in our body. And if you want to open your eyes, you can do that. And here's the question I would suggest you think about, that we all think about. How would it change us and the way we interact with the world if we did that mindfully when we eat? We have a practice in my household that it doesn't matter who's in the room. Every time we eat, we sit silently, we hold hands, and we sit silently for as long as it takes for each person to simply, in their own mind and heart, reflect on everything that went into everything that's on the table. To have a moment of gratitude for the soil and the sunlight and the rain, for the plants, for the animals that helped fertilize the soil where the plants grew, for the ancestors who helped make the land fertile, for the people who picked, the people who cooked, for the bodies that allow us to digest. How would it change the way we relate to each other and the world if we did that? It seems small, but it's profoundly transformative. What if every bite we ate, we thought, wow, this took like 150 people to get this to me? It might change us. So today we're really thinking about how the very simple act of eating and providing ourselves with nourishment and helping each other be nourished is central to the human experiment of living together in community on this planet. So we have a guest speaker here today. Many of you know that our last quarter of the year, our Justice and Generosity partner is Mobile Meals. And today we are blessed to have Sara Keel with us. Sara serves as the Mobile Meals Program Manager at Knoxville-Knox County CAC. So she's overseeing the operations and the fundraising and the strategic initiatives to make sure that home-delivered meals reach the most vulnerable seniors in our community. You know, Mobile Meals volunteers provide meals and connections to over 1,000 older adults across Knox County, right? Helping them to have the experience not just of having food, but having connection with their food. So Sarah's gonna share some things today with us about that program, and then we're gonna talk about ways that we as a community can be good partners to Mobile Meals and support them in our community. So I'm gonna invite Sarah to come up.
Hi. Sorry, I had a cold this past week. How are you guys doing? I am so happy to be here. I have, I'm going to pull up my presentation on my phone so I'm not constantly turning around. So like she said, I'm Sara Keel. I'm the program manager for Mobile Meals. And those of you who are familiar with Mobile Meals, you know that we are the Meals on Wheels program here in Knox County. And so if you can't read the words on the screen, don't worry, because I mostly just have this to show off my pictures. So first I'll talk about the sad stuff, kind of get the sad stuff out of the way, and talk about what is going on with seniors in Knox County. We know that the senior population is growing really quickly. Here in Knox County, it's especially true. Knox County Planning came out with a stat that said that the senior population is actually growing at twice the rate of the total population. So it's an especially, important trend here in our community. And then as we think about what it means to have a growing senior population, people always use words to talk about it. They use like silver tsunami and all these things that sound scary, but it's actually a really, really wonderful thing. It's amazing and a gift to have people live long, fruitful lives. And so just like with any other trend, we also have things to consider and things to work on as the senior population continues to grow. So seniors are very vulnerable, especially those on fixed incomes, to things that we're experiencing right now. So increased cost of food, the rental crisis here in our community, difficulty finding housing, difficulty accessing resources. For those that are on fixed incomes, it can be an especially serious problem. So we actually have about 13 to 14% of older Tennesseans face food insecurity, and there is a high rate of loneliness and isolation as well, with 1 in 4 considered socially isolated. So I just have to kind of get that out of the way, set the scene for what we're doing in Mobile Meals. So you can go ahead. So what we are doing to help with this is we serve older adults, so people who are 60 years and older. They have to be Knox County residents. They're homebound, meaning that they can no longer leave their homes. They can't prepare their own food anymore due to disability or some other medical condition. And then also, they don't have anyone with them during the day to help them prepare food. So those are the basic criteria for receiving Mobile Meals. And in terms of those people that we serve, about 75% are over the age of 70. About 40% are over the age of 80. 2 in 3 of the people that we serve are women. 2 in 3 actually live alone in their homes without a spouse or a caregiver. And then this is important because over half of the people that we serve actually have an annual income less than $20,000. Income is not a qualification criteria for our program. We find that people of all income levels can find themselves in need of meals. However, that is an important stat. So what we do is, as the Meals on Wheels program, we have about 100 wonderful volunteers that show up every day. They drive over 1,500 miles across Knox County. We have routes in every single zip code of Knox County. It's actually, that number is old. It's more than 65 routes now. We added another one in West Hills. And then we're delivering over 1,100 meals every single weekday to seniors who are homebound. And then I love that last piece. So they have an official stat that is the value of an hour of volunteers' time. And if you do the math for our volunteers, it's actually $1.76 million that they are adding to our program. So we could not do what we do without the volunteers. Okay, I like this this slide because it shows all of Mobile Meals throughout history. So Mobile Meals started in 1971. It was actually at a time of really high rates of senior poverty. And then here in Knox County, we were actually ahead of the curve. So we started our program before the federal government passed the Older Americans Act and recognized it as an issue. So Knox County's been really ahead since the beginning. Okay, and so what we talk about with Mobile Meals is that we deliver more than just a meal. When you hear Mobile Meals, you think, okay, they're dropping off a meal, it's like DoorDash, but that's really not the case. What our volunteers do is they not only drop off that meal, they check in with the senior that they visit. Like I said, a lot of them live alone. They're experiencing isolation and loneliness. And so what we find is our volunteers serve a really, really important connection role for seniors as well. They build relationships, they build friendships, they get to know, they know to ask how their grandson's doing in college, and they help serve a really important role in connecting seniors to a wider community of people that care. So they actually found that home-delivered meals to a senior, including reducing the risk of falls, reducing the risk of hospital readmission, reducing the risk of social isolation, all of these different things that are really important to keep people safe and happy in their homes. We also complete annual assessments in the home. This is really important. So when someone starts on the program, we will go do a home visit, and we have a trained professional that will assess their living situation, their connections, their resources, and even beyond what we can offer in Mobile Meals, help connect them to other programs. As a part of CAC, we're really lucky to be connected to programs that can help seniors find housing, help seniors get help with their utility bills, help with like other opportunities. Like we have a whole office on aging that has, I think, over a dozen programs for older adults in our community. So we're really, really lucky to be a part of that network. And one thing that we're really proud of is that we do not currently have a waiting list. We haven't had a waiting list in 10 years, which is really unusual for a Meals on Wheels program, especially right now. So we are very excited, and it's due to all of the amazing community support that we get. We go we like to go the extra mile to really have the community be a part of our program to help us reach every senior in need. And then, as you can see up there, we've got 96% of our seniors actually have reported improved health from receiving the meals. That's actually an old number, the 1156. We've actually had over 1,400 client concerns reported to us by volunteers. Beyond the meal, beyond the social connection, a really, really important thing that we do is we provide a safety check to people every single day when we're delivering. So our volunteers are really our eyes and ears on the ground, watching out for concerns, any safety issues, any health issues, anything that they see. They actually have a fancy app that they use to report that back to us. And we have a trained social worker that her whole job she does is just follow up on those issues and connect them to resources. So we like to really say that we are helping people even beyond just nutrition, to, a smiling face, really keeping people safe in their homes. And my favorite stat was up there. It was the 99% of our recipients actually say that they feel safer and more cared for due to the volunteer visit. So, and I mentioned the Mobile Meals app. This has been a real game changer for us. So our app, it allows the volunteers to have access to everyone that they're going to be delivering to that day, what they're going to get. It connects to your navigation, tells you how to get there. It's amazing. And most importantly, it gives you the opportunity to give us feedback on what you see while you're out delivering. And so we've had over 831 health issues reported alone, 138 personal safety concerns, and we did have 21 emergency situations that our volunteers were able to act quickly on, and we were able to get, working on and resolved. We have some really fun partnerships that help us, continue to provide more than just, a normal tray of meal. We partner with Beardsley Community Farm. If you're familiar with them, they are also another CAC program, and they are our next door neighbors. So they grow, through volunteer help, they grow thousands of pounds of produce every year, and a lot of that can come actually to our kitchen, and it's utilized in the meals for seniors during that peak growing season. So that's a really, really cool way to incorporate local, sustainably grown produce into our meals. It's really cool. This is another one of my favorite partnerships that we do. It's with Random Acts of Flowers. If you're familiar with that organization, they take donated flowers from events, weddings, anything you can think of, and they have volunteers that will create little arrangements from those flowers, and they go out to different nonprofits and different hospitals and things. But every year in September, they give us, I think, 600 arrangements that we deliver to people on our route. So I actually got to be a part of that delivery. And it's just a really special way that we try to think beyond the meal and help people feel connected and like people are thinking and caring and want to be a part of their lives. This is a really important stat here. So like I said, the senior population is, of course, growing. Before 2020, we served about 975 clients a day. Now we're serving, like I said, over 1,100. And I actually just ran the numbers. In the past 10 years, we are now serving 50% more meals, which is which it says a lot given that we currently don't have a waiting list. So it's been amazing that the community support has grown with the need. But with the cost increases, increased price of transportation and food and everything that we are experiencing as a program, it's really important that we continue to connect with the community to help get those resources we need, the volunteer support, the financial support, all of those things that we need to keep meeting that need in the community. And I'll talk a little bit about what volunteering looks like. So like I said, it's a delivery service. We have that Mobile Meals app that you use to deliver. We have opportunities every single weekday. We deliver every weekday morning, and we have routes that go all over Knox County. Our biggest need is actually not necessarily in West Knox County, but in north, east, and then south as well, Knox County. But routes take about 2 hours to do. We make it really quick and easy to start as a volunteer. The first day you do a quick little 20-minute orientation, and then you hit the road. It's really, really efficient, and that's thanks to Amanda, our volunteer coordinator, and all the amazing people that are involved in that. Sometimes people think when they start as a volunteer that they have to sign up for this big, huge commitment, but really it can be whatever you want it to be. It could be a monthly route, it could be a weekly route, or you could be a sub for us and just let us know whenever you're free and we can add you on the schedule. So we like to keep it really flexible and make sure that as a volunteer, it kind of meets your needs as well. Like I said, a regular schedule is not required. And then also, if you're busy, if you have a vacation planned, or if you have to go to graduation, or whatever that may be, we will find a substitute for you. It's an important thing to mention. So it's a really flexible, straightforward thing to be a part of. And like I said, there's opportunities every weekday. The biggest need we have right now is around the holidays, when people are taking a lot of trips, they're going to see family. We really do need that extra volunteer support around Christmas and New Year's and even this week. I love this. These are the routes that we have, and you can just see how it stretches across Knox County. Like I said, we're in every single zip code, and you could have the opportunity to even deliver in your own neighborhood. We also have group volunteering opportunities. So we we like to prepare these little box meals of shelf-stable meals that go out in advance of holidays, in advance of bad weather, snow, all of those things, just to make sure that they can shelf-stable items that we will give out to seniors that we serve that are especially vulnerable, so that have no access to food resources outside of us, no one to help them get food on the weekends. We will actually send them a bag of shelf-stable groceries every week to help kind of meet that need for them. And then this is not, so we actually are good for Thanksgiving Day, which is a great feeling this year, but we do deliver on the holidays because it's especially important for seniors who may not be able to visit with family to have a friendly face, bringing them, we like to bring them an extra special meal. It's usually 2 trays with like ham and a dessert, and it's very, very nice and fancy. And we do deliver on Thanksgiving Day and on Christmas Day. And so that's a really, really special day. Those are both really special days to be a part of our program because you get to be a part of their holiday. It's really, really special and cool. And we are currently needing more people to help on Christmas Day. We are, like I said, we're good for Thanksgiving, but if you think you might have some time Christmas morning and you'd want to come help out, we will have lots of opportunities for that. A really big thing that we're doing starting next weekend is we're actually collecting holiday gifts to be delivered to the seniors on Christmas morning. We don't serve everyone on Christmas morning. We just serve the people who have no family to visit with, who have no holiday plans, and who will be alone that morning. So we collect holiday gifts for those seniors to just help make sure that they have just an extra special holiday. And those bags usually contain items like personal care items, cozy socks, crossword puzzles, all kinds of great things that they can enjoy. And those are donated from December 1st through December 15th. We're going to be collecting them. And I think Carrie might speak a little bit more about that later. But that's a really, really cool thing that we're doing right now. And then we are also still looking for groups to help us process the holiday gifts that come in. As you can imagine, people donate all kinds of things. So we have to kind of go through them, make sure that the holiday gifts are good, and then get them organized for the routes. And so we are looking for groups for that. And then I'm trying to think if I've missed anything. Are there any questions about mobile meals? Yeah.
Let me get the microphone.
Yeah.
Let me get the microphone.
There are a few things that kind of set us apart as a Meals on Wheels program. A lot of Meals on Wheels programs don't have their own kitchen like we do. A lot of them also don't have their deliveries entirely done by volunteers like we do, and that's really special. So, yeah, we have, like I said, probably about 10 to 12 people that help us prepare those meals, led by a very talented chef.
I'll be over there in just a second. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
I'm going that way next.
I was just curious if you have a sister group in Blount County, and also how do you work with Second Harvest a lot?
I do not have a sister in Blount County, although there is another Sara Keel out there.
Oh, I think he was saying a sister organization.
Oh, organization.
I mean, we'd love to know if you have a sister.
There actually is a Sara Keel involved in nonprofits here in town, and it's very fun when that happens. But a sister organization, yes, I think they are, it might be Smoky Mountain Meals on Wheels, but there are similar programs in a lot of different communities. But they're all kind of, every Meals on Wheels program is a little different. We're run through the Community Action Agency here in town. Some are their own standalone 501c3s. Some are run through the county government. It looks very different from place to place.
Over here.
It's okay.
Oh, actually, real quick, I did miss the question about Second Harvest. We do work with Second Harvest. They do a lot of food rescue work, and so we do receive food from them. We get really good rates from Second Harvest when we purchase in bulk, and we currently work with them for our nutrition commodities program, which is shelf-stable food bags that go out in the community, and they help us with that as well, so they're a big partner.
Please use it so our virtual people
What is the source of your funding?
That's a great question. So we receive about half of our funding from the federal government. Some programs choose to kind of take the federal funds and just kind of do whatever they can with it. We do a lot of fundraising outside of that to help meet the need because, like I said, it only covers about half the need that we have. So we do a lot of fundraising. We have a big Power of the Purse fundraiser that we do every year, which Carrie got to be a part of. We also do a lot of grant writing. We get some local funds from the city. We have some funding through United Way. We basically do everything we can to piece it together to meet that need.
I have sort of a testimonial and a question. I have
Okay.
a friend who is a client, a neighbor in your program, and it means a lot to him. Not just the meal, but he feels like he's friends with the people that deliver his meals. It's really important to him to have these people come and talk to him every day, and it's a big deal. My question is, are you able to accommodate particular dietary needs like low sodium, anything like that? Are you able to handle those kinds of things?
You guys are asking all the best questions. These are really good questions. Yes, so what we do is, because of the scale of what we do, we can't do necessarily individualized meals for everyone, but we try to accomplish as much as we can in one meal. So we have two options that people can choose from every day. We have like a meat-based meal. We also have a vegetarian, or I guess it'd be pescatarian, it'd be fish or veggie meal that they can choose from. And with those two meal options, we do not add any salt. We have the dietary guidelines from, I think, the USDA that we follow to keep it heart healthy. Like I said, low sodium. We don't add sugar. We're careful about the oils that we use. Our chef actually finds really creative ways to add flavor without adding salt. So he likes to do these infused oils with like fresh herbs that he tosses the veggies in to help give them that extra boost without having to add salt. So we are very creative and do a lot of work to help make sure that the meals that we serve accommodate as wide of dietary needs as possible. Yeah.
Sounds like kind of a DASH diet. It sounds great.
Yeah.
Outside of the holidays, are there any weekend volunteer opportunities?
We do not have weekend volunteer opportunities usually, but we do have, of course, like I said, the holidays. For people who do work, the holidays are sometimes the easiest way to get involved. And then we have, if you want it, you can volunteer to be a part of, for example, our fundraising committee that puts on our Power of the Purse fundraiser every year. That's a really cool way to be a part of us and support us without having to necessarily sacrifice your day.
Are the group volunteering opportunities all on weekdays as well?
They are, just because of the schedule of our kitchen.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Years. It's amazing. And yes, you absolutely can. You can call our office. You can text us. You probably text with Amanda, our volunteer coordinator. You're welcome to ask anytime about what's kind of going on with the client. We may not be able to give you details, but we can give you, and sometimes we don't know, honestly. Sometimes a family member will call us and just say, stop the meals, and we don't really get all the details necessarily, but we can give you whatever we have, and we'd be happy to do that.
Sorry, one more. Is there room built into the route schedule for visiting, or are you kind of dropping and running? How does that work?
So ideally, yes. Some routes, absolutely. But with the growth of the program, our routes have been getting heavier and heavier. So we're doing a lot of work right now on route balance to ensure that everyone has time to not only drop off the meal, but really spend time with people during that kind of 2-hour window we give them. But it can be difficult. I mean, just to be completely honest, it can be difficult with the growing need to have those really spacious routes without adding new routes. Adding a new route would be another, 20 people we'd have to find to, it's just quite intense to do that. But like I said, we're doing a lot of work to give that space. And a lot of the seniors want, and not every person is the same and wanting a long conversation too. So on your route, there will be some people who will want to spend a lot of time with you, some people who just like to smile and wave, and there's some different ways to kind of make it all work. But we do our best to try and make those routes efficient so that you do have the time to spend time with people. I have a question over here. Sorry, and I hope I'm not taking too long. Okay.
How many people would typically be on a route, and how do you keep the food, do you keep it warm for them?
Yes, we have very, very strict health guidelines that we follow for the meals. So our routes can be anywhere between... So it depends on where the route is. In a rural area, you'd have fewer people on the route, so it might be 8 to 10 on a rural route. But if you're delivering closer to downtown and the houses are closer together, or it's an apartment building, you might have 15 to 20. So we try to balance it more for overall time rather than like number of people that you'd be seeing. And we try not to go above 20 because that can get really intense. But like I said, it's really hard not to right now with the growing population. And then for the food, we do have, so it's actually, I wish you guys could see our kitchen. It's really cool. We have these massive retherm ovens that we use, that we roll these trays of meals, have like hundreds of meals on them, right into the oven. They come up to the food safe temperature, and then they go directly into coolers. So we have all the hot go in a hot cooler, all the cold items and frozen items go into a cold cooler, which is usually bigger, and each volunteer will get a hot cooler and a cold cooler that has everything they need, and then they don't put the things together until right before they deliver to make sure that it's within that food safe window.
Okay, Brad's waving his arms at me. Oh, we have an online question. I love it. I love this tech stuff. Hang on. Okay, coming back. What you got?
So yes, Curtis has a question. She's from Monroe County, and so she's asking, what is the best way to find the mobile mills in our own counties? Is there a central website?
I always recommend people in other counties to reach out to their Office on Aging. Almost every county should have an Office on Aging that would be able to connect them to whatever food resource they have. Other counties may not necessarily have the daily deliveries that we do. Some of them will do 5 frozen meals once a week. So it could look very different depending on what county you're in, but I recommend reaching out to the Office on Aging in your community.
Great. Big thanks to Sara. Awesome. Thank you so much, Sara. Thank you. And next, we're going to take just a minute. Carrie Keeling, who is a member of our board, and Sherry Smith, who facilitates our Justice and Generosity team, are going to tell us what we are specifically going to be able to do from West Side right away to help. So.
Hi, I'm Sherry. My pronouns are she, her, and hers, and I'm representing our Justice and Generosity Committee. I'm joined today by some of our committee members in person, so I just wanted to introduce you all. So we have Ash, and if you want to stand or raise your hand, whatever. And we also have Fran. We also have Elizabeth and Jacqueline. I'm not sure if they're here today.
I saw Elizabeth.
Oh,
Elizabeth's here. Jacqueline's not here.
Oh, hi, Elizabeth. Yeah, so there's Elizabeth. So yeah, we support our quarterly partners every quarter. So this time we're collaborating with Carrie to support Mobile Meals. And if anyone's interested in being part of Justice and Generosity, please reach out to me or any of our committee members. Carrie will provide more details on exactly what we're doing to provide support. But I just wanted to end my little portion with a poem I found this weekend that really inspired me and really just resonated with views on justice. So this is called It's When the Earth Shakes by Chillin Harkin. It's when the earth shakes and foundations crumble that our light is called to rise up. It's when everything falls away and shakes us to the core and awakens all of our hidden ghosts that we dig deeper to find one inaccessible strength. It's in times when division is fierce that we must reach for each other and hold each other much, much tighter. Do not fall away now. This is the time to rise. Your light is being summoned. Your integrity is being tested, that it may stand more tall. When everything collapses, we must find within us that which is indomitable. Rise and find the strength in your heart. Rise and find the strength in each other. Burn through your devastation. Make it your fuel. Bring forth your light. Now is not the time to be afraid of the dark. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm Carrie. You guys probably know me. Well, we talked a lot about Mobile Meals before with the power of the purse. Our congregation did donate a lot of purses, like a lot. So thank you guys for that. We are hoping to work with, we're hoping to help out with the holiday gift drive for this season that Sarah was talking about. And we passed out some of these flyers for you that gave you a list of items that we could use for the seniors. If you bring them here to West Side, I can take them, obviously, over to the offices. So any Sunday between now, it's December 15th, right? Before December 15th, if you would like to bring items in for that holiday gift drive to church on Sunday, we would really appreciate it. And I'll just pitch for volunteering again. I've been volunteering for several years now. I have a blog post, I think, coming out in the church newsletter in a couple of weeks, maybe, about my experience volunteering, and it really did change my life in a lot of ways too. So, yeah, thanks.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. There's more.
Sorry, one last thought. I know can be a difficult time for capacity, so if you don't have time to go out and get donations, if you just want to donate a monetary amount to Justice and Generosity, we'll go out and purchase items for you. So,
awesome. Awesome. Thank you, guys. So there are so many ways we can make a difference in the world. So we're going to close our service. I'm going to invite you to stand if you feel so inclined. You are invited to hold someone else's hand, or if you want to hold your own hand, that is okay. You can hold your own hand. It's a season of connecting, but it's also a season of, viruses connecting. So we get that. So look around you. I always invite us to look around at each other. None of us needs to be alone. None of us needs to be invisible. None of us needs to feel like no one cares. We all have the capacity to reach out across space and time, across differences even, to our common shared need for connection and nourishment, both physically and emotionally. Whatever you can do this week to reach out, whether it's to bring something in here for the drive, for the gift drive, whether it's to just smile at the person who put your groceries in a bag, or even it's just when you have dinner tonight, take a moment and mindfully be grateful for all the people and all the creatures that helped connect with you to make your life abundant. We extinguish our chalice at the end of the service, but like Sherry's poem said, we can bring that fire, that flame, that light out into the world. So we will extinguish the chalice. But please, as I blow the chalice out, take the light into your heart. Take the warmth of this community with you. Take your willingness to seek the truth and the good in each person you meet with you. And take your passion for goodness, kindness, justice, and love with you as you go. Go in peace, go in passion, and go out into what I have now decided to call the portable potluck out into the world. Have a great week, everyone.